Wii U owners rejoice! Your ship has landed. Pikmin 3 is finally here, and it's not only the most highly recommended game I can list for the system right now, it is the best game in the entire series. Yeah, but don't just take my word for it. See for yourself. It's a common joke among Pikmin fans that your justification for sending these critters to their potential deaths in the last game was, less than justified. However, that's been fixed in 3. Instead of series staple Olimar, you take the mantle of 3 new captains, who are on a mission to find food for their starving home planet of Kopai. With the survival of an entire species on your shoulders, stakes are certainly high, especially when your vessel crash lands and loses its cosmic drive key, making a trip back home in anything less than a couple millennia impossible. Now your goals are threefold. Don't starve, find that key, save the world. Until you get said key, your crew is stuck on this planet, meaning they have to scrounge for local fruits to survive on. See, what you're really after are the seeds in these plants, so you can cultivate them back home and create a sustainable food source for your people. But the delicious juice byproduct that comes from extracting these seeds is all yours. In fact, you better savor every drop, because if you ever end a day with no juice, you starve, and subsequently, so does Kopai. But it's how you get that sweet nectar to your ship that's the game's main mechanic. One of the few friendly creatures you'll meet on PNF 404 is the Pikmin. Prone to following anything with a whistle, they help you accomplish your mission, and you help them survive and flourish. It's a symbiotic thing. You are very much a captain, telling your troops when to attack or retreat, assigning a certain number of Pikmin to carry a prize back to the base, etc. The big catch here is that, unlike previous games, now you have 3 captains, and they can all be in different parts of the map with different squads doing different things. It's quite a mental circus trying to juggle that many things at once, but figuring out what you even need to do in every area is half the battle. This is why Nintendo gave you the very interesting ability to start over any day you've ever gone through. You can choose to go back to any point in your adventure and restart your progress from how things were that morning. This allows you to go back to earlier areas with new knowledge and get even more done than you did the first time. It's like built-in save states, except that because the game is designed around them, they don't feel cheap or like they're undermining the challenge. Unlike the 30-day time limit of the first game and the endless days to complete your mission in 2, this finds a happy medium. The time limit is based on how good you are at the game, and this mechanic reflects that. The point is not to try adapting as fast as you can and simply deal with the consequences of your failure. Rather, you're encouraged to get as efficient as possible so you can make things easier for yourself down the road. It's a very cool system. It makes it really easy to record for a review, I'll say that much, and it allows even novice players a chance to go for that perfect day. Don't think you can erase mistakes as easily from your memory, however. There's nothing more heartbreaking than losing a lot of Pikmin at once and hearing those sad little death cries. And I mean nothing. Your crew exclaiming at the loss in horror is just the beginning. They'll write end-of-day reports as memorials for the brave soldiers lost that day, ruminate the next morning about how it's all their fault, and there's always that persistent counter showing just how many of the critters have fallen under your command. When you suck at this game, you friggin' feel it. Speaking of features from Pikmin 2, you'll notice dungeons are no longer a factor. Well, I guess there's one, but that's a spoiler, so I won't be showing footage of it. All I'm gonna say is that if you did play 2, you're gonna be having some bad flashbacks. At least we still have the unlockable add-ons for your captain's suit, including the most useful power-up in series history, the dodge whistle. Holy crap! How? How did we survive 2 whole games without this thing? Dodging isn't the only advantage either. You'll notice a lot of hazards have been nerfed in this game. What used to be insta-kill electricity simply stuns Pikmin in this game. In fact, there are very few things that will kill you outright anymore. Even if a Pikmin is about to be eaten, piling enough of his friends on the enemy will likely free them from the predator's jowls. I'm also not sure how big a fan I am of the fact that you can only send other captains to places and not make them automatically do something when they get there. Then again, better to do everything manually than create an AI that will inevitably get your whole squad killed, so yeah. You're also missing the direct control with C-Stick offered in previous games, but the new charge command accomplishes basically the same thing. My file may say 6 hours, but I know I spent more than that going back and min-maxing my strategies. Besides, I enjoyed every second of it, so better that it didn't outstay its welcome at least. You also might want to get 100%, as there are leaderboards and a couple bonuses waiting for you if you do. There are also some missions you can play through with unique conditions and sets of Pikmin to work with if you're up for a challenge. You can try to collect treasure, fight enemies, and even square up with any bosses you've beaten in story mode. It's got its own set of surprises, which, once again, you'll appreciate even more if you've been playing the series for a while. And I think it goes without saying, but yes, these missions are a lot easier if you have a friend. Finally, there's one small detail here I'm not willing to overlook, and unfortunately, it's one of those Nintendo things. Your crew is a lot more talkative in this game, which is nice, it gives them character. However, they all speak in this strange mix of gibberish and Japanese, which might have worked had they not bothered to make half of it context sensitive anyway. Look, if you're gonna go out of your way to have characters say words, just give them actual voices. And don't give me any of this player connection or immersion nonsense. There is such a thing as good voice acting, and if you can afford people talented enough to deliver it, which Nintendo can, I might add, someone speaking my language won't be a problem. Guys, I know you've been doing this for decades, but I can emulate Super Mario World on my smartphone. Get with the times. You probably don't need me to tell you at this point, but my god, this game is beautiful. Everything from the cinematics to the environments to the characters is just a treat to look at. Even the fruit you collect and can view at the end of the day is incredibly detailed. I can't even fathom making a 3D model this complex. They built a camera into the game just so you can capture your favorite sights on film and spam Miiverse with them. It also helps that these creatures are so, if you'll pardon the pun, wild. Some of these designs are downright inventive, and every creature carries with them their own set of rules. Like this thing, just flying around. It doesn't try to eat you, inconvenience you, or even interact at all. It's just there. And in my mind, that's a sign of how well realized this world is. Nature is like that. You don't immediately know how everything will react to you. Not everything is either actively trying to kill you or is trying to avoid getting killed by you. It's perfectly happy just being, and it's much more fascinating because of that. And that's Pikmin 3 in a nutshell. It's an alien safari, with about 100 little ferocious tour guides. It might have gotten delayed a couple times, but man was this game worth the wait. It looks good, feels good, and most importantly, plays good. It's the best game for the system in a long time. And to think this is just the first bite in Nintendo's current plan of releasing one game a month. Because I'll tell you what, if all of them are this good, I imagine the trash talking is gonna stop real soon. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to go take some pictures.